Creativity and community are absolutely vital in challenging times. Welcome to Syncreate, a show where we explore the intersections between creativity, psychology, and spirituality. We believe everyone has the capacity to create. Our goal is to demystify the process and expand the boundaries of what it means to be creative. We talk with visionaries and change makers and everyday creatives working in a wide range of fields and media, from the arts to science, technology, and business. We aim to illuminate the creative process from imagination to innovation and everything in between. I'm Melinda Rothouse, and I help individuals and organizations bring their dreams and visions to life.
I'm Charlotte Gullick, and I'm a writer, educator, and writing coach. We are the co-authors of a book on the creative process, also called Syncreate. At Syncreate, we're here to support your creative endeavors. If you have an idea for a project or a new venture, and you're not sure how to get it off the ground, find us at syncreate.org. Our book, now available in both print and audiobook format, walks you through the stages of the creative process so you can take action on your creative goals. We offer resources, creative process tools, and coaching to help you bring your work to the world, including our monthly creativity coaching group. We'd be delighted for you to join us. We'd also love to hear your feedback on the show. Please drop us a line at info@syncreate.org. We're looking for feedback on how we can improve the show, what's resonating for you, and what future topics you'd like us to cover. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Syncreate podcast, where we explore creativity, psychology, spirituality, and about everything in between. So today, what we'd like to talk about is what it means to practice courage in our creativity and how this can show up in our lives in other ways. So I've been thinking a lot about how when you're trying something out, something new, there's this element of discomfort, and how we've heard that thing where you have, the magic happens outside of your comfort zone, and that we need to stretch ourselves a little bit. And what I've been thinking about is the connection between that and courage in the world. And so, we start to practice creativity in new ways, like, I'm going to do something that makes me feel a little bit vulnerable. Does that create the muscle memory so that we can be courageous and vulnerable in other ways? Is that making sense?
Yeah, I think so. I think with anything, the more you practice, the easier it becomes, whether it's performing or public speaking or, like you're saying, just being brave. Whether that's with our creativity or speaking up for what we believe in or whatever that might be.
I think you've nailed it. So being brave, practicing being brave with ourselves, with other people. Maybe that's speaking up when we need to voice a truth. It makes me think about this story by Tim O'Brien, who's a really great Texas author. And most people know the short story, The Things They Carried. Also the name of the collection. And in the collection, there's this last story called The Lives of the Dead. And it's an amazing, amazing short story. And it's about the narrator who falls in love with a young girl when he's in 4th grade, and she has cancer. And other kids make fun of her. She's always wearing this cap, and they're trying to pull the cap off. And what Tim does in that story is he shows us that if we practice bravery, it is easier to do in the harder moments in our life. So what he juxtaposes that with what it means to be in Vietnam, and soldiers are being disrespectful to the dead. And he said, if I had practiced courage, I maybe would have been able to stand up later on when it counted even more.
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm thinking about there feels like the opportunities to find our courage are mounting.
Yes.
And that if we push ourselves a little bit with our creativity and practice courage, practice the muscle of bravery, that if we need it and the world outside our page or our studio, it will be a little bit easier to stand up for what is right.
Yes. It makes me think of like, what's the neurophysiology of that? Right? So we talk about
Mhm.
neuroplasticity and we have our habitual patterns, which are the neural pathways that are well worn. And practicing being brave, it's like any other habit or skill that we're trying to develop. It requires creating new pathways. And then again, the more we do it, the more they become familiar or easy, right?
Yeah,
It's like, but
yeah.
we have to train ourselves just like we would
Absolutely.
in any other, like working out or whatever it might be.
Well, and it makes me think about I did this summer school program, when I was in high school, and I had an '80s asymmetrical haircut and was super shy, and, people thought they would say hi to me, and I wouldn't hear it. Like, I didn't
Hmm.
believe people would speak to me, so they didn't think I
Oh.
spoke English.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
we thought I was a foreign exchange student from France, I guess
Oh.
'cause of my
Hey.
I don't know. And, like, if you would have told that person who thought people would were that people wouldn't say hi to her, like, that what I did yesterday when I was at this summit educational summit at Vassar, where there's the former undersecretary of education under Obama and Biden and, 2 heads of foundations, like, I was one of the speakers at that event. And so
Amazing.
thinking about, like, the incremental ways that we build courage.
Yes. Yes. And it makes me think about, I've spoken about this before on the show, but when I was a kid, I was quite quiet and shy also, but I really wanted to sing. But it was hard. It didn't
Yeah.
come like I liked the singing part, but the getting up in front of people part, like I would just
Right.
literally shake and my face would turn bright red. But for some reason, I pushed through that because I really wanted to do it. And again, over time, the more I would get up in front of people and perform, now it's almost second nature, you know? But it's a long journey. It doesn't happen
Very long.
overnight.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
And I just feel like I wanna be, a person who, because we are in history now.
Yes.
I think that's the part, like, well, if I had been alive during those times, I would have been one of those people on the right side of history. But we have the choice now to be on the right side of history. And for me, I'm just really feeling that link between bravery with creativity and bravery in the world. What does it mean to stand up for people who, um, when I maybe the stakes aren't so high for me because of the way that they look or my citizenship status or those different things. So I'm just you know I'm really thinking about how important the creative process is in teaching us bravery.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the reasons that we do this show,
Mhm.
right? To kind of put that out there into the world, right? Something positive and something empowering that people might be able to benefit from.
Well, I'm getting this idea like when we practice creativity, we're standing up for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, because our creativity is connected to our vital life force and our fundamental capacities of being human, right? And so to honor our creativity is to honor our authenticity and like truly embrace who we are. And sometimes that means going against the grain of society or what people think we should be doing with ourselves or whatever.
And I think the other part of it is that it is um, forces that be count on people staying afraid.
Yeah.
And so practicing bravery in small and large ways is key to resistance.
Yeah, and I was in a retreat with my friends Jenny and Steven that I just had on the show in episode 85 this past weekend. And when we were talking about we were completing the retreat and like talking about going back out into the world, it's like so important to remember that we all have more power and more agency than we realize. We might be freaked out by what's happening in the world, but we don't have to stay small.
What is it? Speak your truth even if your voice shakes?
Yes.
That's what I've been sticking with me quite a bit.
Yes, definitely. And these are those times.
We are
So, what's our pro tip for
The
this?
pro tip is to challenge ourselves to practice your courage muscle by doing a brave thing. So what is brave can vary so wildly from person to person, but here are some examples. Talk to a stranger, share a morsel of your work. Maybe it's one line. You're like, I've written a new short story and I've never shared any of my writing with anyone. And so will you listen to one line? Tell someone how you feel, practicing vulnerability, because that's also key to creativity. Or if you're someone like me who would love to be able to sing, and I'll do it in odd, overblown ways, but like maybe I could hum, like, like, here I am, like I would never sing a song. I'll do that nutty stuff. But maybe what I might do is hum in public. And
Just a little thing.
yeah, that feels very brave to me.
Yeah.
Easy to do now.
And
So
it makes me think about, I just want to give a shout out to the people that are in our coaching group. We have so many brave souls that are putting themselves out there in so many amazing ways, always submitting their stories and their work to different, contests and publications. And that can be very nerve-wracking. But, when you see someone else doing it, it gives you in turn more courage to do it. And vice versa. Maybe when people see you putting yourself out there, they will feel more willing to take a risk.
I think another way of saying this is as we practice our creativity, courage begets courage.
Yes.
Creativity begets creativity.
Beautiful. Find and connect with us on YouTube and social media under Syncreate. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and leave us a review. And again, we'd love to hear from you. So if you have feedback on any of our episodes, you've tried out the pro tips, you have thoughts on potential guests or topics, please drop us a line.
We're recording today at Record ATX Studios in Austin with Charlotte, me joining us from the Hudson Valley. The podcast is produced in collaboration with Mike Osborne at 14th Street Studios. Thanks so much for being with us and see you next time.